y'all. Welcome to the But No Forreal Tho podcast. I'm Justice Hope.
And I'm Kamaria Dominique. And we invite you to a safe space where your 2 cents won't get you canceled.
Really?
But no, for real though.
All right, so we are gonna go ahead and get started. We like to kind of start everything off with a couple questions. She's going to pull from this cute little bitty jar.
It's so cute.
I made it.
She did.
You know.
She did. She's the crafty
I'm the
one.
crafty one. And we're kind of just gonna talk back and forth about a couple of these questions first.
I agree. All right, so I'm pulling. I have no idea what the questions are. She put all of them in here, so then when we run out, I'll have to put my questions in, and then she won't know. But we're both gonna pull.
So that means y'all have to come back for the next episode to hear her questions.
Period. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. It says, what do you think are your best characteristics?
Ooh, that's a good one.
So, okay. I think that in all that I do, I give my all.
Yes.
And I think that is like one of my, it can be a blessing and a curse, but I think for the most part, it's one of my most admirable characteristics that I admire by myself.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I think that's a good one. That's a good characteristic. I agree with that.
That's one of my characteristics.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what do you think is one of your best characteristics?
I am very patient. I have to be patient because of my job, and I'm patient with everybody most of the time. There's some times where I get a little antsy. Yeah. But I'm very patient most of the time.
Yeah, I agree. No, she is very patient, very kind. Just see, I'm the feisty one. Well, depends on with who. Yes. She can be feisty too, but I be wanting her to be a little bit more like. Okay, so there you can pull one, and so let's do two.
Yeah. This one says, what is something you recently prayed for or about? So something I just recently prayed for or about was strength. We're doing a 3-day water fast, and I definitely needed the strength to keep going and to have a clear mind about going into it. Something that this is my first time ever doing, and so I wanted to, have the strength and the clarity to get through it.
Yes. Yeah, we got to talk about the fast too.
Yes.
I love this question. So, I most recently, and we can talk about this because we gonna keep it real and honest over here. Okay. So no topics are off limits. Yes. Recently I had a bit of a breakdown, and so my most recent prayer was regarding asking God for discernment on when I should just stop, because I'm the kind of person who just goes, and then I just lose it. So I have been really working on finding my inner peace, breathing, and also being content. Because a lot of the reason why I can't stop going is because I'm still trying to find like that contentment, or I'm dissatisfied with something. Yeah. And so I just really need the discernment to be able to tell myself to stop earlier. So right now, me and God, we working, we vibing out about that. And so that's my current spiritual journey.
Yes, that was good.
So we're going to do every episode like that, where we just start with a question to kind of, and even maybe as much as we talk on the phone, it may be things that come up
from our phone conversation,
or that we didn't even talk about. Like we have not asked each other, what's the last thing you prayed for? Ever. Yeah. And by the way, we're about to pray right now. We did not pray over this, and this is a very big deal for us. So if you don't pray, that's fine. You can skip for it like 30 seconds, but if you do, bow.
Yes.
Dear Lord, I just want to say first, thank you so much for placing us in each other's lives almost 12, 13 years ago. I want to say thank you so much for even providing us with this platform, giving us the idea, allowing us to become closer as friends and as sisters, and now business partners, which is crazy to say. I ask that you just lead us in the direction that you see us best fit to follow. I ask that we be a vessel through you, and that in all that we do, we are impacting people to live their best lives, to be confident, to be happy, and to give their 2 cents without being canceled. And I just want to say thank you in advance for anything that you have planned for us. We're forever grateful. Love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. So
that was a
now
good
we can
one.
really get started.
Yes.
Okay.
So today on our little topic, we are talking about seasonal friends versus lifetime friendships.
For a season or a lifetime.
Which one are you?
What is it? Who you got in your circle?
So we have been friends, like you said, maybe 12, 13 years now.
As long as I've been in my relationship with my fiance, we have been friends. So I try to just gauge it like that.
Yeah, and so we met 10th grade year of high school.
Yep. In
Miss Thomas's English class.
You love to tell this story.
I do. I love to tell this story because it just talks so much about her and how she was and still is. I mean,
I'm not that competitive.
No,
anymore.
not anymore, and not with me.
No,
but
in
general, you're competitive.
Go ahead, Justin.
And so we were in. I don't know why we were in a regular English class.
First of all, because let me tell you one thing about us, we was gonna be in the pre-AP.
Okay,
we were in our pre-AP honors,
AP, dual credit classes.
But it was kind of fun being in that class.
It was
because go ahead.
We had some crazy people in it.
We did.
So we were in this general, very English class, and we knew each other because we both played volleyball, but we weren't like friends like that. We just kind of, knew each other.
Right.
And so one day we had just got our tests back, and we sat close to each other, and she was like, "What'd you get on your test?" And I'm like, "Girl, I barely know." I was like, I don't know, I got like 90 something. She was like, okay. And from that day forward, the rest of the school year, it was like, what you get on your test?
What you get on
your assignment?
And then she would be like 99. I'm like, dang. She'd be like, well, what you get? 97. So fucking
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we met. You're right.
Yeah, that's how our friendship grew.
Yeah,
it's
really
crazy.
It started there and then kind of blossomed from a tragedy. I won't get into details about that because that's not my story, but a tragedy happened to someone close to us. And during a really, really rough time for me handling that tragedy and kind of processing it, and her too, it impacted a lot of people at our school. Yeah. We really grew a
closer,
bond beyond the classroom
surface
and
level,
the volleyball.
Just volleyball, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I will never forget. So that's her way to explain kind of, our friendship and where it started. But for me, I always think about yes, it started in Miss Thomas's classroom, but when it really hit me deep, like, oh my God, I really like this girl. Like, that's my friend, is I went to her dad's house and we spent the entire day. This is when Orange is the New Black first came out. Just came out. So I don't even know if it was the weekend or summertime. Summer break.
Yes, it was, yeah.
It was summer
after
break.
Volleyball conditioning.
After summer conditioning, I didn't want to go home, so I went to her house. And Orange is the New Black just released. It's the first season. We watched the entire season that day. And I'm like, I done been at this girl house for 8 hours. Because we done watched 8, 9 episodes.
And y'all know, Orange is the New Black, when it first came out, it was like, whoa, what are we watching?
What are you watching? So not only was we bonding, but we're bonding over this.
Right.
It's like, okay. Okay, saying a lot about the both of us. But that was my moment where I was like, oh yeah, we gonna be tight.
Yes, definitely. So when did you know that I was a lifetime friend versus just a seasonal friend?
I feel like consistency. Like, you're very consistent in my life. So I felt like no matter what happened, I can count on one hand how many times we've even really had a argument, a disagreement, whatever you want to call it. But even aside from that, I just felt like you were always there. You were always present. You didn't switch up. Your personality didn't change up on me, no matter who was around. Yeah. Whether you're in a relationship, not in a relationship, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I felt like your consistency, no matter what, even if I wasn't as consistent, you continue to be consistent. So I felt like, I don't know if there was an exact moment where I knew, oh, I do remember something. I don't know if I felt it like she felt it, but I was in college. No offense to our college friends. But when I was in college, a friend of my mom's, really close to me, pretty much like an aunt, was like, that little girl, Justice, that she hang out with, that little girl, that's who she gonna be friends with for the rest of her life. And so my mama was like, you're right. I agree. I think the exact same thing. It's just one of those things that a parent don't want to say out loud because you got 3 best friends.
Yes.
So it's like you don't want to, muddy the waters, or you don't want the friend to get offended. But my mom was like, yeah, your aunt said this about Justice, and I agree. And I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah, that's my best friend.
I'm like, yeah, that's my best friend, but I got 2 other best friends too.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty
fine.
sure we're going to all be, and we're not.
Yeah.
It's literally just me and her. Like, I mean, for like when it comes to how tight
close,
we are,
yes, yeah.
I have other friends, but me and her are like this.
Yes.
So I think that was kind of like an eye opener later down the line to see like they were right.
Yes.
And they saw something in our bond that I didn't even see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say those 2 things. So what about you?
So for me, it was the car accident. Because so I was in a car accident right after high school. We were hit by a drunk driver, and I'm laid up in the hospital bed, and I sent her an Instagram video, and I'm like, hey, I'm okay, but I was in a car accident. And I remember her calling, and she was crying, and I'm like, no, I'm okay though. And you were out of town.
Yeah.
And you were like telling your mom, I have to get back. I need to go right now. Yeah. I need to get there. And I think that was like the first time where I was like, dang, she like ride for me. Like, she was so concerned. And even that whole process afterwards, because I was like on a walker and a cane and all this stuff, and she was right there. She was like, when we went to SFA, you were like, have you been doing your PT?
Yeah.
Have you been doing your
Come
OT?
on, we gotta move around.
We need to do this.
Yeah.
And it really helped me. Like, I was really depressed, and so it helped me kind of keep pushing, because boy, when I tell you I was ready to pack up them bags from Nacogdoches, I was like, I'm chunking up the deuces. I'm getting up out of here. But my mom was just like, no, stay. And then she was like, no, just give it one more semester. Like, you're going to be off your walker and cane next semester, so it's going to be okay. And so I think you really pushing me to keep going and keep moving forward. That was like, oh yeah.
That's the first time you ever told me that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because immediately when you said, when I had the accident, I immediately remember where I was. I was at a jump house for my niece's birthday. We had went to Houston, and my stomach hurt. I was like, I can't eat this pizza. I don't even want to be here. Like, we have to go. Like, my best friend just got in a car accident. Like, she's telling me she okay. She's not. Like, you're in a hospital bed. You're not at home. Right. So that was enough for me. And like, my parents, they're trying to calm me down. I'm like hyperventilating, because I'm like, oh my God, of all the times for something to happen, I'm not even there.
Yes.
So that's so crazy. Yeah, I never knew that moment stuck with you. Like, I don't really relive that moment. Who would? But like, the fact that was a moment that stuck out to you, that's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. And then another thing too is, I feel like one thing that helped your journey when you were on a walker too is we didn't leave you out of stuff because you was on a walker.
Right. Oh yes. Yeah. Because it could definitely, like, when you have a disability and things like that, you feel like attention is constantly on you, when it probably isn't even. But I always felt like, yeah, I'm the girl at SFA walking around with this pink walker. Like, and when I'm talking about walker, y'all, like, I'm talking about like grandma walker, like in a pink cane. And my crazy self, I done bedazzled it out and everything. So it's definitely drawing attention. But no, y'all never left me out. It was like, okay, what we doing today?
We all going.
We're all going. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And to the gym too.
Yeah. Yes. she's like, you can do bike. You can do your little exercises for your leg, whatever you need to do.
No, for real. I remember that like it was yesterday. That's crazy. We gotta definitely do an episode about like you getting through that period.
Oh, definitely, because that was a tough.
Yeah, it was, and I was gonna be real sad if you would have left SFA.
Oh yeah, I think we would still be friends, but I think it would be so different.
100%.
Because we had so many like memories and bonding moments at SFA. We did
everything together.
Yes,
everything.
Literally everything.
It was a group of us, and we did everything. We were really inseparable. It was really kind of cool. Like it was cute. I'm glad I experienced that.
Yes.
And adulthood is just different. But college friends not gonna necessarily be your lifelong friends, but I will say, I learned a lot about friendship in general through that friend group.
And people.
Yes.
Learned a lot about people and everyone's differences and how people handle certain situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely say that, college taught me a lot about friendships and
communication. We did not hold back. And honestly, I think I've lost a little bit of that audacity that I used to have, because I'm not shy. I don't mind confronting a situation, but back then we were very vocal, like immediate. We're talking about this right now. It didn't really matter where you were. There was really no reverence for like who's around. It was just a conversation. And so, but I will say this, no problem in my opinion with our group lingered very long.
No.
Because it's addressed immediately. Like you may have an attitude that night, but okay, tomorrow we all still going to lunch. Like
yeah. And sometimes, you know, when you have issues with people, you know, you're going to keep moving. That's what it was. It was like, yeah, you can still be mad at me, but you still about to sit at this table right next to me, and we still gonna study, and I'm still gonna quiz you, whether you like it or not. Exactly. Like we're still gonna push each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's just how we were. Like, definitely. I loved it.
Yeah, that was time. I definitely think, if you're in college, find you some good a group of people. They don't have to, don't do people that are just alike you. No. Like, find a good little mix of everybody who have different, you know, beliefs and different things like that, different majors. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
Yeah, because we pushed each other. We're like, okay, no, you got that. You got to do
a test on this day. We need to go to the library. We definitely held each other accountable.
Yes.
And I feel like we could do better at that now. Like I think we're like as hard as we used to do.
Yes,
you know, now I think we hold each other accountable, but also life be lifing, and so it's just kind of like, girl, if you ain't do it, I get it. Like,
it's like,
but it's kind of like, wait, maybe we need.
No, we said that we were just like this podcast. This was was talked about
years ago,
and then we were kind of like, oh yeah, we'll do it, we'll do it, and then it just never, you know, kind of got put on the back burner. I got married, you got engaged, you started Rich and Raw, and so, you know, life be lifing. But then like this last go round, literally, it's like a month to the date that we talked about this, and
it's here. Like, let me tell y'all how God works. So I didn't even tell her all of this piece of it. So I'm inside of Whole Foods just getting what I need. And I'm at the checkout line. And y'all know how at the checkout line there are magazines. Did I tell you this already? Okay. There's magazines at the checkout line. And I see a magazine. I don't know if it's new or old, but it's of Oprah and Gayle. Everybody knows Oprah and Gayle. That's that's like the OG besties, right? They've done a lot together. And so immediately I was like, I wish me and Justice could be like on a magazine together one day or something. And so I'm like, we really need to do our podcast. We need to do our podcast. And so mind you, from the time there's only one other person in front of me at the cashier line. So from the time I'm standing in line, put my few items on the belt and walk to the car, let me tell you everything that came to my mind. Me and Justice need to do our podcast so we can get on a magazine cover like Oprah and Gayle. What am I going to call it? But I'm about to call her when I get in the car and tell her we need to start the podcast. Then I said, no, for real though, you need to really call it. I said, but No For Real Though is the podcast name.
Yes.
And I'm like, but does that sound crazy? Is like, you know, sometimes in your head you think it sounds so good and you say it out loud and somebody's like, what? And I'm like, no, I feel it in my heart. She gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I call her in the car. I'm supposed to be heading to the gym. I sit in this parking lot. She think I'm driving. I'm in the parking lot for an hour and a half. I'm like, hey, Justice, we need to start that podcast. And you remember, I know I didn't. I said, Justice, remember how we always say we would start a podcast?
Yes.
We should really do it. And if we do it, we should call it But No For Real Though.
And I was like, yes!
Yes. But not only did you just say yes, we didn't change the topic.
No, yes. That was
the biggest difference from our other time. It was like, okay, so what we gonna do? Like,
we literally started planning everything out that moment.
In the parking lot, y'all, we made a logo.
Yes.
We made an Instagram, a TikTok, which follow us on all of those, please. Instagram, TikTok. We said we're gonna have a YouTube channel. She started looking up how do we get on Spotify, Apple. This is all while I'm in the parking lot of Whole Foods. It was that real.
Yep, and I'm riding passenger princess over here from Houston back to Dallas.
Yep. And so then I finally leave the parking lot. I go to the gym. I sit in that gym at the parking lot of that gym for 30 minutes. Finally go inside, I'm sending her stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this. I'm taking pictures of, I have a real cute aesthetic gym. So this inspo actually came from our gym.
Yes.
My gym. I'm taking pictures. I'm like, I like this. What about that? What do you think? And we just never let up. Like, and like you said, a month later, we done a photo shoot.
The Airbnb that day?
That week.
Yeah.
It was that week for sure.
Yes.
We booked the Airbnb, which is where we are now for our shoots. All this decor.
It was so fast.
Everything was so fast. We had a color palette.
Yes.
We weren't playing. It was like, it was a non-negotiable.
Yeah. But we held each other accountable for that.
Yep.
It was like, no, we're going to do this. It's going to happen this time. And that's what we're doing.
Shared notes, all of that.
Yes,
and it's crazy because I have really had a big fear of going into business with friends because I've had rough situations and I've heard of other people's experiences. And so I got to be honest, in the back of my head, when it would come up, I intentionally kind of would not really go further because I'm like, I don't really know if, like, yes, this sounds good, but Kamaria, do you really want that? Like, what if something go wrong? Like, this is your best friend. Like, if something go wrong in the business,
how is that going to affect it?
Exactly. Yeah. And so, but this time when I called her, I didn't even, nothing mattered. Yeah. It was like, that was the only thing that mattered. Like, I had to tell her when I saw that she was all in, I'm like, we're doing this.
Yes.
Like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
God said, do it, we're doing it.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Like, it just felt right.
It did. And I think, we talk about how there's moments in your life where you know it's right. So those other times, it probably just was not the right time for us. Yeah. But this time, it just felt, everything lined up perfectly.
Yes.
Like, we're both so busy. We both had this weekend off.
Yep.
And then it was like, we found everything when we needed to find it. Everything just flowed so seamlessly.
And also, too, I think our relationship of, like, the fact that we get along so easily, like, we're not sitting up going back and forth about
this or this.
Well, yes, we do. but
not like
what did we go back and forth about Justice Day? It did not even matter. You were telling me, you were like, should I say what was it?
The sense or no?
Sense.
In the bio.
I don't know. Y'all, okay, so we do go back and forth about real stuff that does not matter. But like when it comes to like our decor, we pick a color palette, we're like, yeah, that's cute. Let's do it. That's cute. It's like we can easily just piggyback off each other. And I feel like, of course this is new, but I think one thing we should stay true to, but we definitely have right now, nobody's trying to be the like, I said this. It's like,
and there's no like, I'm the boss.
No.
You're this person. That's how we're doing it. No, it's very collaborative.
Exactly. Like, what do you want to do? Okay. Like, do you like that? Do I like that? Also, we really just bringing y'all our FaceTime to real life.
No, seriously. We probably FaceTime at least 3 times a day.
For sure.
But, I mean, these are long FaceTimes. It's not like
a minimum of an hour. A minimum of an hour.
It's not 5-minute FaceTime. But we probably call each other at least 10 times because then we start playing phone tag.
Yes. We play phone tag, and depending on what we're doing, we can't be on FaceTime. So it's like, I'll just call you. And that's just how it's been for years. Like, that's just how it is. If we don't talk, it's weird. Even in college, like, when you moved off campus, it was still like... Oh, yeah, we stayed on FaceTime all the time. Yeah.
It was still like... Or when you... And especially when you moved to Pensacola.
Yes.
It was like I lived with you and Cubby.
Literally. Like, I was in Florida.
I was third wheeling.
Yeah, for real. No, that's how it was. And that's just how it is. And my fiance, her husband, very supportive. I mean, they don't have a choice. Because the phone is going to be somewhere and you're going to hear a random voice and that's Justice. Like, you...
He'd be like... Is that Jay Pookie on the phone?
Jay Pookie, y'all just stay on the phone.
Y'all just stay on the phone.
Y'all not even talking. Mind your business.
It's okay.
I feel her energy. But I do, though.
Yes. But for real, though.
That's fact, but for real, though.
Okay.
I really feel her energy. Like, it's crazy how sometimes I could be so stressed and I'll call her and I'm just like, hey, girl, what you doing? And sometimes it's something really amusing because her household is funny. They got a lot going on. I didn't say she did. So it's very amusing. But sometimes it just be like, girl, nothing over here, da-da-da. Like, it don't even have to be something. Sometimes it's just like, having her to just like talk to about something can like be the most common thing. And I can't even explain it. It's like a difference. Her and my mom have this about them. They just have a calming aura. And it's like, okay, girl, you fine. Like, you're okay. Like,
my favorite thing to tell her is breathe.
Breathe.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a deep breath. It's going to be all right. We'll figure it out.
No, for real. Like, she definitely has to bring me down. And, like, sometimes I don't even tell her I got a million things on my mind. We'll just be talking and, like, it's just the calm that I needed. Didn't even know I needed it. But it just works.
Yes.
It works.
Definitely, yeah. And she's just so, like... And she does have a million things going on, but when I see her doing something, it makes me motivated. It makes me want to do something. So, like, she'll be doing her work, and I'm like, man, let me pull my notes out so I can do my notes. Or she'll be filming something. I'm like, okay, I keep talking about, I need to film this. Let me go ahead and do it. And so, having that FaceTime motivation is real. You have to have some friends that are going to push you to better yourself.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's a lifetime friendship.
We talk about this all the time. So y'all, let us know if you are on YouTube. Comment below and let us know if you struggle with finding friends. We use the terminology like on your level. What we mean by that, we don't mean in a condescending way. We're just saying friends who admire to do more like you and push you to do those things, and they're also pushing themselves to do that. So we really want to know. Please comment and let us know if you struggle to find people like that, because we do.
Yes. Yeah. Like I have friend groups that I'm a part of and that I love. I have like I have long-term friendships. I have friends that I've known since I was 8 years old. I have friends that really, I think all of my friends I've known at least since before the 6th grade. And so I have this closely, really knit, close friendships that I love, and like nobody could tell me nothing about my friends, like at all.
And she
ever.
mean that.
And okay, and so it's like good to have those friends, but then sometimes it's like you do need people who know more than you. It's not, you have to, you
don't want to be the smartest one in the room all the time.
Exactly. And so, you strive to not only push your friends, but you want your friends to push you too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
As much as I pour into you guys, I want y'all to pour into me too. And I have friends that do that.
Right. And I think also differentiating the type of like pour that you need. Yeah. So like everybody's love language, even with friendships, is different.
It's different.
I like to be surrounded by people who are motivating. They're doing stuff. They're taking risks. They're learning things new all the time. They're reading the next ebook this, and they're trying this business venture because that's what I'm interested in. So I can't really be around too many people who don't understand the kind of lifestyle I live. Right. So I'm a very, like she said, on the go kind of person. I hate to say it because I feel bad, but I don't have a lot of time for much. Yeah. I don't. But I do make time for the things that are really, really important to me. I do. Yes. I'm going to talk to her every day. Period. Unless I'm on vacation. That's the only time.
And even then, I'd be going through withdrawals. I'm like, oh, what's she doing?
Yes. There's certain things that I realize, and my mom said this. She said, once we realize that without the proper relationships, we cannot be successful. That's good. Relationship, we are, as humans, are built to have relationships. And this is something I want to work on. Just expanding my relationships the right way, though. I know no matter what I have going on, no matter what business says, no matter what not my 9 to 5, no matter what the podcast, anything, I have to talk to her. I have to talk to my mom. I have to at some point have some one-on-one time with my fiance. Those are things that help me be my best self, period. Yes, yeah. So I can't show up in all these other ways if I don't do that. Yeah. And so I think when I'm looking for someone to pour into me, it's like, yes, I need that motivation. Yes, I want you to push me and I push you. But also too, I just want you to understand. Like understand or try to give some grace or relate to the kind of life that I'm living, as opposed to like, you don't ever have time for me. Why when we on the phone, you on your computer for an hour?
Yeah, you not listening to me. Yeah.
It's like, I hear you, but like, this is where I am right now. It won't be like this forever.
Yep. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and like for me, I feel like with my friendships, I need people, and I have people that I need some relax. Like, I need friends that, we'll go sit out by the pool. It'll be okay. We'll relax. We'll get into really good. I love to talk, deep obviously.
Hence the podcast.
Okay. And so I love having really good, deep conversations with my friends. And I have good friends that I do that with you all the time. I do that with some of my other friends all the time. And it's things that make you think a little bit more. I'm the type of person, I'm going to give my opinion. You don't necessarily have to agree with my opinion. I'm not going to force you to agree with my opinion either. But I like to hear other people's opinions too, because then it makes me think, I could see it that way. I'm very good.
I can't stand that.
I'm very good at seeing things multiple ways.
Oh, she is. It's
like
so annoying.
Really good, because I'd be like, well, I can understand what Cubby's saying.
Oh my God! Yeah, for those that don't know, my fiance, we call him Cubby, and Cubby the creator. Go follow him on Instagram.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll be like, Justice. He said da da da. She's like, okay, wait. So now what happened? So I give the storyline. She's like, well, I kind of can see both sides. I'm like, no, you don't need to try. Don't see both sides.
Don't see both sides.
Okay. See this side right here, but no, she is really good at that. And a lot of times it forces me to have to check myself. Like, well, okay, like,
yes, yeah.
Maybe I did go too far. Maybe I could have said that differently.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable at first, but I love that she can do that because for me, a lot of the time, I'm seeing one or two sides, and normally they mine.
Well, and I think that comes from me having such different friends. My friend group that I have is...
Me too. Go ahead.
Yes, is very diverse. Very diverse when it comes to race, when it comes to beliefs, upbringings. Yeah, I have a very, very diverse friendships. And so I think that's why I can see multiple things, because I'm like, well, let me see it from this point of view. Let me see it from that point of view. Even the way I grew up, I feel like I was always like that.
Yeah, I can see that. It just feel like it just fits your personality. Very, like
Definitely.
I said, that nice, loving, seeing all these points of views. And I'm like, I just need you to see my point of view.
And I be telling her.
No, she tell me when I'm right. She be like, no, if such and such was wrong, like, no, that was just wrong.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Very fair, which is what you need. You need that. Somebody, your friend should not always tell you what you want to hear.
Ooh, yes.
Don't kiss my ass. Don't tell me what I want to hear all the time. Like, I can tell myself that. I'll catch attitude and I'll be fine. Like, it's okay.
I'll look at you kind of crazy like,
or I may even get defensive, but then it's like, okay, you're right. Like, this is what I really need to do. And you need to have friends that are, one, comfortable to tell you what you don't want to hear, but the best thing for you. And you need to be receptive to that, because also you may have to check yourself as a friend if you have them kind of on eggshells when they really want to tell you something that can benefit you.
Yes, yeah. Because I don't like when you're feeling some type of way and it's hard for you to say something, because it's like, no, girl, unless you about to say something off the wall, I guarantee you I'm just going to be like, I did not mean that like that. I'm so sorry. Or how can we fix this situation? Like, I don't like to lose friends. I'm very like, hang on to friends, and so which that can be a flaw and a good thing.
And it's crazy because I'm trying to work on that. One thing that my mom used to tell me, y'all gonna hear me say my mom used to tell me all the time, because even she can tell you, me and my mom, we're like this.
Best friends.
Like, she is just a woman of many gems.
She's great.
Amazing. So we'll get her on here one time.
Yes.
But she used to tell me in college, when I'd be like, yeah, mama, such and such did this, I cut them off. I used to cut people off like that. And so she used to be like, baby, people are not disposable. And I'm like, but why would I be friends with somebody who doing something to me I would never do to them? Exactly. I couldn't comprehend that, because one thing about me, if I'm your friend, I am a loyal friend. Like, I'm a loyal friend. So I'm going to tell you, you may not like what I have to say, but I'm going to tell you to your face. I'm going to, we can have the tough conversations. I'm a good friend. And so when people would do things to me that it's like I would never fathom doing that to you, it's like cut. But then here recently, my mama said she was at church, and our pastor, he said, Christians love saying, God gives second chances. He was like, but the crazy thing is, God gives third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances, so on and so forth. What makes you too good to give somebody more chances when you constantly are giving grace and giving more chances in all areas of life? Exactly. And we're gonna go there. You give your man a second chance, third chance,
fifth, sixth, 100th.
Okay. Something happened with y'all talking about it that night. Yeah. It's your homegirl, it's your friend, or whatever. All of a sudden, you couldn't. And so that's something. It took a long time for me to get to that point. Some things are just non-negotiable. Yes. And it's like, okay, we got to end this because this is just not. We can't come back from that. We can't come back from that. Yeah. But some things, it's like, okay, Kamaria, like, have some grace. Yes. Yeah. Have some grace.
I definitely.
You're not perfect either.
Yeah. There's times where I do something and it's brought to my attention, and I'm like, oh snap, I didn't know it either came off like that, or I said it that way, or you took it that way. And it's a learning thing. You're constantly evolving, you're constantly
That reminds
changing.
me of our conversation. We had a tough conversation. We're not going to get into detail about what it was about, but we had a tough conversation. Maybe in a later episode, we'll get closer. Yeah,
we're not
But we had a tough conversation, and honestly, I don't think we ever talked about this, but it was hard for me too, because like I said, we don't really ever disagree or argue about anything.
Yeah.
And my fault was holding it in, and like it building up, and to the point where I was just like, I had to talk to her, because first of all, it never crossed my mind that like we're done. No, it was just a matter of either you're gonna bottle this up, never say anything, and hope it fades away, or you're just gonna have a conversation. And keep it moving. Like, talk to her. And then I had to have a talk with myself before talking to her. I was like, okay, so when you talk to Justice, you're not talking to Justice so that she can agree with everything you're saying.
Right.
Because sometimes you go into a conversation feeling like it wasn't successful if the person didn't agree
with what you had to say.
And that shouldn't be the goal. Sometimes we do that with our spouses too.
Oh, yeah.
The goal is not for the person to agree, but sometimes you just need to, one, share what you're feeling so that they know. And kind of get their point of view. I was able to get your point of view. You got my point of view. You were like, oh my God, completely oblivious, had no idea. And it's like, okay.
Because how can you fix something if you don't even know that there was something wrong in the first place?
Exactly. You got to stop thinking, and that goes back to giving your friends grace. You got to stop thinking, well, you my best friend, you should know. Like, I would never. And it's like, that is such a selfish, small way of thinking. It's like, come on now. At that time, you had a million things going on. Planning for a wedding. Just got proposed to. Just moved to. Like, it's like, you got a million things going on, but all I could see was, which granted, how I felt is how I felt. But all I could see was what I saw. And so it's like, okay. That's
and your feelings are valid. And
but it doesn't mean you have to agree with me
that,
yes, I made you feel that way. It's like, no, I really wasn't trying to. And I don't even know how I did. Can you elaborate? Like, it was more so, I feel like a very learning lesson for me, for sure. Of like having the tough conversation. If I'm saying you like a sister to me, how you go 2 weeks mad and haven't said nothing? That don't, like, come on. We be saying, hey sis, that's my best friend, that's my this, but can't even have a tough conversation. You
have to be able to have those conversations, or your friendship will never get deeper. It's always just going to be very surface level. You might have a deep conversation here or there, but if you can't get to the nitty gritty about certain things, it's like, how do you even learn from each other? And
I don't know if you remember this, but I told you something when it got like kind of toward the end of the conversation. We were very emotional, and I was like, we're fine. I was like, you know, we're fine. Like, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Like, and I wasn't playing. Like, I'm like, because what we're not about to do is be awkward. Because it's like, okay, you had the tough conversation, but now nobody wants to ever have a tough conversation again because we don't know how to come back. It's like, no. And you can continue to feel how you feel, by the way. Like, you don't have to rush feeling better because of the news I just shared. But I am going to call you tomorrow. Keep it moving. And I asked her, and the next day I was like, hey, how are you feeling? He was like, I'm fine. Like, just I'm like, okay. Like, but I think that was so healthy because we had never gone through that. Nobody wants to go through it, but it's like, at least we know if something come up, we good.
We know we'll always be able to talk about it, work through it, and keep it going.
Keep it moving. Period. Like, we're not gonna make it a weird thing. Like, I'm not gonna make you feel bad for telling me I said that
or I had no idea, or things like that.
So
that was good. Okay, so we're gonna do.
You had questions.
You did. No, but we've been hitting up without it.
Do we hit all the questions?
We have like maybe like 2 more, but we're very good.
Is it time?
But we're gonna do our messy minute.
Messy minute, y'all. It's tea time. So we're not about the drama. We are never on here bashing or none of that. But we are gonna get it. We are gonna get a tea.
We gotta give a little, our little 2 cents.
Without getting canceled.
Okay.
Because we don't get canceled over here.
Because we got opinions.
Sometimes there's just an elephant in the room, and the elephant starts with a K and ends with an E.
Ooh. KeKe.
Oh. Let's talk about KeKe Palmer.
Love her.
So by the time y'all are seeing this, y'all should definitely know what we're talking about. By the time this episode's out, this probably is like no longer top news, but still such a very relevant topic.
Especially when it goes to relationships with your significant others, so like romantic relationships, and I mean, you can even look at it as friendship relationships too.
And also, like, my mind goes a million places. What is appropriate for a mom? What's appropriate dressing for a mom? Also, what should and should not be addressed on social media?
Ooh. Exactly.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So, I don't know.
I guess let's give an overview for people who don't know what we're talking about.
So, in recent news, KeKe Palmer's boyfriend, so she just had a baby a couple months ago.
Yes.
Sis looks amazing.
Killing it. Body, yaddy, yaddy,
so,
yaddy.
I mean, popped it back quick.
Yeah.
But her boyfriend went and took to social media to talk about an outfit that she had on while she was attending the Usher concert. She had on like this cute little bodysuit. It was kind of
a little see-through.
Little see-through with some little cheeks out. Yeah.
Just showing a little body.
Her cheeks were out. And Usher was serenading her.
Yes, he was. As he does a lot of the time.
A lot of the time, yes. And she was, doing her little thing. And he was like, but you're a mom, though.
And I think he went on to even go further and say, like, no, a man doesn't want his, his family to be seen, like, elaborating just on how
why he said that. But he took to social media to say that. So how do you think about? What do you think about?
So my first thing is, let's keep that at the house.
Yes.
Ooh. That is, I never, ever, ever, ever respect male or female, whatever, spouse getting on social media and addressing a situation.
Yes.
When all you had to do was call me. Yes. 9 times out of 10, I live with you, so I'm heading home.
Yeah.
Or I left out and you saw me in it. Like, there's so many different ways to address a situation privately. And to me, I feel like that opens the door for more constructive conversation to get more to the root of, like, why do you feel how you feel about me wearing this? Where did that come from? Maybe I can kind of see where you're coming from and make some adjustments if I want to.
Yes.
So that's my first thing. Second of all, you ain't my husband.
Oh.
You are my husband.
Right.
I got to think about that too. Not saying that I don't respect a man if that's my boyfriend or my fiance. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But it's certain conversations we not having.
Unless you got that.
You don't got that ring on the finger. No, so, yeah. Relax.
Yes.
So that thought came to mind. And then also, too, this topic of, like, what's appropriate or inappropriate as a mom. So you said you're a mom. Was this okay before? She had the baby?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, because he's posted videos of her, twerking on him and had, a swimsuit on, things like that. And so it's like, why was that okay then and not okay now?
And is it also that you see another male got her, like, is admiring her?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. And my thing is, too, going out in public, you're supposed to be a united front. So I don't ever want people thinking, oh, things are rocky between Justice and Josh. Nah, y'all not ever going to see us shake. We'll shake in the bedroom and talk about it there behind closed doors. Because coming together, people need to know, oh, you can't mess with this.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with whatever issues we have personally behind closed doors. So like you said, that whole social media thing, you're not ever gonna see like
that's not the space for that.
No.
At all. Like that, no. They get so many people in your business and they're public figures.
Yes.
So that's just, I feel for them and what the backlash I'm sure they're getting in the publicity.
Yes.
And
because they are dragging him.
Yes.
But
on the flip side, here she goes. Here she goes the other side. But I gotta be honest, I feel like I know where she's going with this, and I think I may agree with some of her points. So go ahead and do the other side.
I could see him feeling some type of way about, the whole Usher thing, him serenading her and her doing her little up on Usher. Like, because if I saw my man doing that, I'm gonna be mad. This is the same thing I don't know, did you see the BET Awards? And
what was it?
We're going to have to put the names down here because I don't know the names. But she threw her phone at him because...
Yes, JT and Uzi. Yes. She lost it.
Is this not something similar? Is it not, if I saw my man getting danced up on, I'm going in. Yeah. I'm going to be upset. It could be... My man has a thing for LMI and Lupita, and let one of them dance up on him.
So it's so funny because I have an interesting take on that.
Okay.
I think he's valid in feeling how he feels because they're both celebrities.
Yes. And he's not.
I gotta be honest. Oh yeah, and he's not.
And he's not.
Yeah, right. So you already be feeling.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was about to say in regards to like our examples, right? So like let's just use who's somebody I just think is like, Drake. We'll use Drake.
Oh, yeah.
So I love Drake, right? So let's just say, for example, and this is, I guess I would have to let my fiance speak for himself, but I would like to think, just from conversations we've had, if Drake calls me up on stage and I get to be in the seat and you know how they do, and he's serenading me, we're gonna go home and be just fine.
Right.
Because
exactly.
in his head, he like, oh, like,
I know that's the person you have a celebrity crush
Drake
on.
don't know you, never will.
But I think it's the Drake don't know you.
Drake, exactly. Don't know you, never will. No. KeKe and Usher, y'all probably got each other number.
Okay.
That's an easy. Y'all could easily
link up.
Y'all are gonna be in the same spaces.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Yeah. And now he will now be in the same space as both of them.
Exactly.
So there could be some like, especially now that he done came out and said what he said.
Yeah.
It's like, but. So yeah, that was my little like, I mean, I could kind of see now the whole you a mom thing.
It's like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Maybe he feels like you're a mom, so now your persona needs to change a little bit.
And see, the problem I have with that too, so there's so many layers to this, right?
Yes, yeah.
But like, you were attracted to me when I was wearing all of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Don't think because I'm a mom now, especially if these expectations were not spoken of, we haven't discussed
beforehand.
This, don't assume because I'm a mom, I'm going to change my dress code.
Yeah.
Or first of all, it is so hard for women to feel sexy or feel good again after having a baby.
Uh-huh.
Let her be.
Yeah.
Let her feel good.
Yeah.
If we didn't talk about this, don't assume because I'm a mom now, I'm not gonna wear what I normally would have wear. Yeah. Prior to being a mom. And so I think that's one thing too. And two, men, a lot of y'all out there forget why you liked us in the first place.
Right.
I was wearing this. This is what I was doing. Now that I'm with you, you want me to wear something different?
Because
I don't like that.
They don't want the competition that they think is going to come
You're
with.
insecure. You're insecure.
Yep.
Therapy. Yeah. Now I gotta go to therapy too. But I'm a strong believer. You're insecure.
Yeah. And but all in all, that's something that should have been handled privately instead of, because now, like I said, everybody is dragging him. What I don't like is people telling her, you need to leave him, That whole thing, you don't know what's going on in their relationship. They could be perfectly okay. This was just a one thing. He was tripping type thing. And for you need to leave him, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, slow down. This was one thing.
No, seriously.
This is the first thing since they've been public that has been kind of
That never end drama.
Yeah.
Ever. Again, give people grace. Also, y'all, people read comments.
Yes.
Please, call your best friend and talk about the tea. You don't have to literally comment every little thing you
leave
think.
Him. He's controlling.
And you don't have to drag him on the comments, but he should have probably just thought about that. He probably won't say much else in the future.
Probably not.
He probably won't. But I think that is a perfect segue, though, too, into our topic of, but that's the end of Messy Minute, y'all.
Yes.
It was a few minutes. But you talk about, don't be that friend, you were talking about fans, but don't be that friend that's always telling your friend to leave her man.
Oh.
Don't be that person.
No.
That is the worst thing a woman can hear unless he is putting her in harm's way.
Yep.
Being abusive, that's different. But the worst thing a woman can hear when she's sad and got some bad news about her man or woman, hey, we get it.
Yeah.
Do what you do. Nobody wants to hear, girl, leave him. Give constructive feedback.
Yeah.
If you have nothing to say nothing. That is better than just the blanket statement of you need to leave him.
Yeah.
And I think when we talk again about lifelong friends versus seasonal friends, I want a friend that, no, you don't have to tell me what I want to hear, but when I'm down and I'm down bad, don't shoot me while I'm down.
Oh, yes.
That feels like even though you're not talking about me, it's like.
It's another stab in the stomach. It's like, I'm already down, I'm already struggling, and ooh, that just hurt even more.
I would literally rather you listen and let me cry than to say, girl, you just leave him.
Oh, yes, yeah. I don't think we've ever told each other that.
Ever. And
no matter what we've been through.
As long as we've been friends is how long I've been with my fiance. So mind you, that's from childhood to now.
Yeah.
She has never, ever said anything like that.
No.
And I may have once. About this one guy I did not like. But that is not something that I just throw around. Yeah, no. She's married to the person I envision. But literally, Bob. But I just, no, we don't just throw that around. Yeah. You need to leave him. You just need to leave him.
Yeah,
again, unless it has to be somebody's harming you.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I just think that
harming you mentally and or physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another thing too is don't treat, if you don't really think that the person is good for your friend, don't treat the guy different when he's around because she chose to stay. Like, that don't really have anything to do with you.
Yeah, I always try to stay neutral in that moment. And, you know, if my friend asks me for my opinion, I'll tell them, like, I don't really like this. I don't really like this. But I always end it with, if you like him, I'm going to support you however you need me to. I'll support you. I can kick it with him. I can bring Josh and he can kick it with him and everything. And I can try to form a relationship if you think you're going to be with this person long term.
Exactly.
Because I don't ever want that starts to affect our friendship. Like, especially if he can catch up on that vibe, he'd be like, I don't really feel
now he
injustice.
putting stuff in your ear about me, and he's just muddying the waters. It's creating bad energy and really probably false narratives.
Yes, exactly. Because then it's always like, well, why you just didn't ask me?
And then you're finding something out of nothing. Like, if he's noticing things, it's easy for him to put, when you're all in love and up in the clouds, he puts stuff in your ear. Now you start re-looking at your friend different. It's like, that's been your friend before he came around.
Exactly. Especially when you've been friends for long periods of times and a guy is coming in and, did you see that? Or did you do that? And it's like, no, first off, if he's saying that to you, ask me. And I'll be like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. I just have my, what is that, RBF, my resting bee face. Like, that's just how I look all the time. Right. So don't look into that. But, yeah, I definitely.
And I feel like also, too, if you have a friend who seems to, like, really kind of, whenever you and that person, you and your spouse are back on good terms and they're like, okay, you need to maybe reconsider that friend. Because if your friend knows this is somebody you really love, you want to work it out with them, they should be excited that y'all are back on good terms. Period. Yeah. It's not your relationship. You're there to be supportive to your friend. End of it. I think we get confused about our roles. You're not her counselor. You're not her therapist. You are her friend. So you need to support and show up as a friend would. And I think a lot of women wonder why they have such a hard time keeping friends or having friends as adults. And I think it's these small foundational things that we could work on to help have more long-lasting friendships.
So what do you think are the key characteristics to someone that makes them a lifetime friend?
I think selflessness.
That's a good one.
Consistency. Effort.
Yes.
And transparency. Like, I want to just be myself. I just want to.
I don't want to have to put on this.
Say whatever. Y'all, when I'm finna cry on the phone, I don't try to hold it and be like, oh, girl. I literally bawl and snide right there. And I mean, I'm just crying. Like, it just comes out. It's such a safe space. Like, how we said we are inviting you to a safe space, it's literally real safe. Like, I'm very safe with her about any conversation. And so I think those components for me, it's like, that's a lifelong friend. Like, if you can show up in those ways, everything else we can get through. Yes,
I think the only thing I would add is like loyalty.
Yeah.
Don't be letting your other friends talk mess about me and you not. Because I'm the first one, like, I'd be like, let's not do that.
Well, and it's funny because, and we can talk about this a little bit. So people found it very odd that she and I were best friends. Yes. And both of us have been offended in the comments that we've heard of, like, why people are thought it was odd. Yeah. So some of the comments that we've heard is like, what are some of the comments? One of the comments was regarding like my style.
Oh yes. So like in high school, I was very tomboy. Like, I mean, wind shorts, Sperry's, volleyball or soccer t-shirt, very like hair and ponytail, didn't get my nails done till senior year for prom. Like very tomboy. And she was always just so put together all the time. Like she'd have her little bangles on, making the noises, had her hair done. And I mean, freshest kicks all the time. And that's just like not who I was. And she would like have her nails done and things like that. And so it was just like, oh, she's bougie.
She's bougie and she like dresses up and stuff. Yes. And it's kind of like, that's a dig. What you saying about me?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Then I would get comments of, or like, I think, I don't remember how it was worded, but in regards to like people being shocked that I'm smart.
Oh. Yeah.
And a lot of that was more so of who I was affiliated with, which, by the way, they were also smart.
Yes.
Very smart people, but sometimes people confuse, like, popular or, like, you dress up. Like, I guess they take it as I care more about what I look like and who knows me than, like, academics, which is not the case. Yeah. Anybody who really knows me knows, like, that was my life.
And it's crazy because we were both very well known in high school because
for different reasons.
Yes, for different reasons. But we both were in volleyball, both very, very smart. I had been dating somebody at the time for, like, ever. Yeah. So I was known for that. I was short, little, mixed girl, big hair. So it's like we were both very known, but then it was weird when people were like, "Oh, y'all are friends."
Y'all are friends.
Like, but I guess it was kind of like the circles that we hung out.
And I think to us, we was offended because we like, yeah, why not? And we knew what was being created, and it was like one of the best things that was happening to us at that time in high school. So it's like, yeah, why did that shock you? Yeah. So that's just so interesting. So y'all, if you feel a genuine connection with somebody,
don't let other people put negative thoughts into that relationship, because I used to tell people, she cool.
Exactly. And that's where I was going with it. You were saying that you don't let people talk about your friends.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I was going with it.
And I don't let friends talk about other friends either. I'll put a stop to it. I'm like, we're not going to go there. That's not your business. That's not something that you need to comment on.
Yeah, she's had friends that be like, yeah, Kamaria was telling me about the books she read. Like I didn't know she read.
I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
She has 2 whole college degrees.
Like, it's just like, yeah, she do. Or, yeah, she actually is smart. So, yeah. You need to defend your friend. So, that goes to the loyalty piece. Like, if I'm not in the room, I should know no bad blood is being spoken of when I'm not around. Exactly.
And I never feel like there is.
Yeah, but I don't play that.
Oh, yeah.
I do not play. I do not play. I have gone off on a friend or two about justice. I don't play that. Like,
Same. I'm like, not happening.
Don't do that. It's just because it's like, because there's something, clearly I'm doing something wrong. If you feel comfortable
saying
that around me, no. So let me fix that. Let me nip that in the bud now and let me amp my game up. Don't ever try that again.
Yes. No. Yeah, definitely agree. And so last question, when do you know that a friendship has run its course? Or do you know? Because I know I struggle with that. I struggle with that heavily. When I meet friends and I really feel like I have a connection, I like latch on and I'm like, I never want to let go. But there's been a couple times where I'm like, I have to let go because it is hurting me mentally to stay your friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it has to hurt in a way, and I've unfortunately experienced this. It has to hurt in a way that you've never heard before. Yeah. In all the ways. Yes, it's like, Also, when the situation impacts more people than you.
Ooh, yes.
But people that I love and care about, you got to start reconsidering. It's like, okay, if I do this, how does this impact this person? How does this impact this person if I let you back in? And so I think that when it starts to, you have to weigh out the pros and cons, right? It's like, we could try to work this out, but then this could maybe hurt such and such more. We could try to, and so I think when there's that domino effect, it's kind of like, okay, this has gotten way too toxic.
Yes, yeah.
And also, this hurts in a way that I've never been hurt before, and I don't ever want to feel this again. Like, I just can't even imagine.
Yes.
I think for me, that's when I knew, like, to call off a friendship of like, okay, I can't do this.
Yes, yeah.
And y'all, you had a real friendship with somebody when you grieve a friendship like you would.
Like you lost somebody.
Like you literally lost somebody. I grieved someone for like 2.5, 3 years.
Yes, yeah.
It was bad. Like, it was a for real grieving process. And one thing I did learn about that I'm not ashamed of at all is like, wow, I gave my all to that friendship. Like, I was like, that was my real friend. Because again, like my mama said, I was just letting people go. And then Justice would tell you there was no grieving. I'm like, I don't talk to them no more. Like, that's it. On with it. But this one person in particular, it was like, okay, that stung. Stung is not the word.
Yeah,
that like cut. Girl.
Yeah.
It cut.
Yeah.
But not for real though.
Yes.
It cut deep.
Yeah.
And I grieved that, you know, and now I feel a million times better. Again, probably could have grieved that process in like a year, had to go to therapy.
Right.
But I didn't. And so I think that was such a tragic situation with that friendship. But I learned so much about, you know, like you said, sometimes you just gotta pull the plug.
Yes, yeah. And like I said, I struggle with pulling the plug, but I've had to keep my distance, and I'm just like, okay, I struggle with disappointment. And there's only so many times that I can let you disappoint me and hurt my feelings to where I'm crying to my sister over a friendship. And that's how I know I loved that person. And I was like, dang, but you keep doing me wrong. Like, I can't keep putting myself out there and letting you hurt me. And
so for you, it's more of like you do things over and over and over.
Yes. Okay. And I give my friends grace. I'm going to let you, which is terrible saying that out loud, but I'm going to let you try again, because I'm like, you know, this was going on or this was going on.
But I mean, maybe it's not terrible. Like I said, finding that happy medium, because we all need grace. Yes. But it's like, I need you to not keep doing the same thing over and over, because then it's like,
you don't care enough about me to fix whatever the issue might have been. And that's when I was like, okay, I have to keep and luckily I'm still associates with the person. I can still hang out with them and things like that. But I don't think that friendship will ever be what it was. Oh yeah. No.
And being okay with that.
Yes, yeah. And I had to learn how to be okay, because I was trying. Yeah. Ooh, I was trying. I was
this
like,
person don't call no more, and we don't hang out no more. And it's like, that was a season.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
That was a season. And also, sometimes you can find healing in understanding the reason for that season.
Yep. Because I learned.
You gotta learn. There is reason. Nothing is just because, y'all. Yep. Everything has a reason. And you can normally find some good out of like whatever the tragic situation was, whatever the relationship was. Yes. And I would say take that and hold on to that, because no matter what, the memories aren't going anywhere, right? So trying to erase them because of whatever the bad thing was, I felt like I was able to heal because I started to just be like, but all the good.
Good, right.
Like, but all the good.
Outweighed,
and not outweighs like I'm going to be your friend, but it's like in the sense of like my healing and being hurt and like kind of like hating you.
Yes, yeah.
I'm like, whoa, I should not hate you because you gave me an amazing friendship for however many years. Yeah. And so I think when you're able to get to that point, boy, you know you healing. You know, you like, I'm getting to the other side. Like, thank you, God. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of crying, talking about it, expressing how you feel. And I guess really just being okay with not being okay. Yes. Like, I'm not okay about this.
Yeah. And it's okay to sit in that for a while. Like, sit in those feelings and feel them. And I think what we have to also think about is friendships are relationships.
Yes.
They're not just, that's my friend, whatever. No, it's a real relationship. It's a give and take. Yes. Always. And so, yes, it might not be a romantic relationship, but it's just as important.
Yes, they're just as important. And y'all, I hope all of your relationships last forever if you want them to. However, if you tomorrow up and don't have your man because he decided he don't want to be there, you got your girls. Yes. And if you don't treat them right, if you don't treat your friends right, who do you have? And I think we get so wrapped up with guys that we forget like who was in your corner before he came along. And then your friends start to feel used when you only come back. Coming around because now you sad. You coming around because y'all had an argument. It's like, can you just call me just to see how I'm doing? Like, what's going on? Yeah. So, we should definitely do an episode on like friend guilt.
Oh, that's a good one. Catch that on the next episode.
We're gonna have friend guilt. One of these episodes for sure. For sure, one of these episodes. Yes. So, before we wrap up though, I just want to, I'm real big on mental health, y'all, and she is too. Yes. And so before we wrap, I just want to ask you kind of like, how are you mentally?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. I feel like I have a lot of moving pieces in my life right now. You know how I get. I start to get antsy. We're like in the midst of trying to move. I'm a speech language pathologist. I'm working at 2 jobs, helping build a practice. This
Yes,
starting this. Yes. So I feel like I have so many things. You're
What?
getting married
Stop.
in like 4 months.
Okay, I get overwhelmed.
5 months.
I get overwhelmed. We keep wedding talk real quick and short around here.
Real quick. I probably talk about it more than she does.
100. Everybody else, 100%. And by the way, don't take that the wrong way. I'm very excited to marry my man. But the whole wedding thing, it's just like I just want to show up and not do anything. And then literally, she will tell you I don't want to do anything. I just want things to be done for me, and I don't really care how they're done. Just cute. So don't ask me nothing.
But all that, I just feel like so much is going around, so I start to get antsy. But I feel like I'm dealing with it okay right now. But I feel good.
Scale 1 to 10, 10 being like mental's out of this world amazing.
I'm like a 7. I'm feeling good right now. Yes.
Okay, period.
Yes. How about you? How's your mental?
Right now, in this moment, because now is the only thing that matters, I feel like I'm like 8.5 out of 10.
Yes. In this moment right now.
And y'all, sometimes you don't need to think about the whole month.
Oh, yes, because that's where I get overwhelmed.
Yes. Sometimes you just need to be like, right now, we're checking in right now.
Yes.
And right now, I'm grateful for this moment, and I am for sure 8.5 out of 10. This is the first time we're starting a business together while we're in the middle of something we started together for the first time, which is the fast.
Yes, which is crazy.
That's crazy timing. But like I said, nothing is just because. If you're new to fasting, you might not know this, but when you fast, you have much better mental clarity.
Yes.
So here we are talking to y'all with the clearest of mindsets
that we could have.
No food on our stomach. We're feeling real disciplined, and we have each other to hold accountable, and starting our new brand. Like, it's just all perfect. So I'm very happy about that. I feel like today was a good day. We had a successful photo shoot. First episode about to be wrapped up in the books. We love how our setup turned out. So honestly, I actually really jumped. I can move it to a 9.
Me too.
I feel like a 9 out of 10. I
could too. Yeah. In this moment, definitely.
And the only thing probably keeping it from a 10 is a little late.
You're right.
It is a little late, and we've been moving.
My contacts dry.
Okay, girl. But other than that, that's good. But also, we really hope that y'all are feeling amazing.
Yes.
And if you're not, that's okay.
Yes.
But sometimes just check in with your strong friends. Make sure they're doing good.
Yeah. People forget to check in on their strong
friends.
For
real. Check in with your, but for real though.
Okay.
Y'all, that is never gonna get old. Never for real though.
Yes.
All right. I think that's it.
I think so too.
We're gonna be back next week though. This is an every week thing. Season 1, episode 2, coming next week. All right, y'all. We gotta come up with an outro.
I'm joking.
And she choked. And
why is this?
And I'm leaving this in. So let me stop talking. Okay? Get yourself together. I'm leaving this in because last time she convinced me to take it out. I'm leaving this in. This is what she be doing. She randomly choking, laughing all hard, getting all jittery. This is for real us.
Jesus. Yeah.
This is us.
Real and raw.
Real and raw. For real.
Yes.
Thank y'all for watching But No For Real Tho podcast episode 1. We are grateful that you even here to the end.
Yes, thank you.
Tune in next week.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Do all the things. If you're on YouTube, if you're listening in your car, we appreciate you too though.
Yes, thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That was good. That was so
natural.
So natural. Oh my gosh.
So natural.